It's time to do a tier list of all the Borderlands 3 weapons. We're talking base game, DLCs, Season Pass 2, events, they're all here. So altogether, there are 243 legendaries in Borderlands 3. And we're going to rank them from S tier to junk.
What a piece of junk!
Now, there are some niche items in there as well. These are in alphabetic orders. It didn't give me a way to keep them organized by content, etc. So chat seems to want us just to go pure alphabetical. So we start with the 9 volt. Not good at all. I'm going to go ahead and just say it's straight garbage. Followed immediately by its friend, the shocking AAA. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the grease trap here in the niche category. That way, we got that settled. All right, up next is the Alchemist. I'm going to call it straight D tier. Normal mode or in-game matters greatly. Okay, yeah, so Hearthmill brings up a good point. Normal mode or in-game. I'm ranking these all purely on end game, which means binary operators straight junk. Up next, we got the Amazing Grace. I don't think it's a niche weapon, but I don't think it's junk. I'm going to give it a D tier, and I'm going to put it slightly. I'm going to put it behind the Alchemist. It's not a very good weapon. All right, up next is probably, no surprise to anybody that's ever used this thing, the Anarchy. And this guy goes straight into S tier. This is our first S tier, and this is an easy S tier. This gun is so ridiculously good. Now, if you are familiar with Anarchy from Borderlands 2, that's the skill that Gage has. I see some people saying B's in the chat, but you guys are wrong, dude. Okay, they're saying Veto. They think that this is a B tier weapon. Holy shit. Have you guys never used this thing the way it's intended to be used? In Borderlands 2, you had to stack Anarchy as Gage, right? This gun, you shoot it once and reload. Shoot it again, reload. You do that 10 times, and now you have an insane stack of damage that stays until you die. It's that easy. The majority of people said that Hearthmill is wrong as hell. Hearthmill sucks to be you. So we'll move it to A tier. The Veto has power, and they put it to A tier. Let's go. Up next, we got the ASMD. I think this is a C tier gun. Now, why do I think it's a C tier gun? Because splash damage. Now, we could also say it's a niche gun. You could go C tier or you can go niche, because in the hands of Moze and Amara, this thing can do some stupid damage. However, it's not something that I'm going to use generally. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, look at that. Most people are saying niche. All right, I'm cool with that. It's already 12 to 2. That's good enough for me. So from C tier to niche, I fully agree with that. You know what? I agree with that. It could go either way. Up next, we got the Atlas Replay. Oh man. So those of you guys that watched my recent Flak playthrough, my Atlas Flak, you know that this thing is a mobbing god. I'm going to call this one an A tier. Up next, we got the Auto Aim. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anybody. The Auto Aim is bad. It does auto aim at enemies. The problem is the base damage is really low, and it auto aims at the mid part of an enemy. It doesn't auto aim at heads. It doesn't auto aim at crit spots. It auto aims at center mass, and that's terrible for a sniper rifle. All right, Baby Maker. The Baby Maker is strong as a gun, and the throw damage is good. The problem is, when you throw reload this thing, it's going to take almost all of your ammo. If you have a way to regenerate ammo, is a B tier. If you don't have a way to regenerate ammo, it's going to be a C tier, because you're going to be out of pistol ammo in no time. I'm going to go B tier. Up next is the Backburner. If anybody disagrees with S tier, I got to just be honest with you guys. You're insane. That's an easy one. Up next, we got the Bangarang. I got nothing good to say about the Bangarang. Is it a horrible gun? It's not the worst. It's not good. I'm gonna put it above the Amazing Grace, but behind the Alchemist. Up next is the Barrage. I like the Barrage in normal mode. This is a very just average, boring gun. As such, I'm going to put it in D tier. I'm calling it high D, low C at best. The Beacon. Oh shoot. It is outpaced by the Free Radical. It is stronger than the Hellshock technically. I think this is a higher B tier than the Baby Maker. All right, up next is the Bearcat. That was easy. All right, moving on, we got the Becca. Becca is highly underrated. I want to put it in A tier, because it is a really good assault rifle, but I think that it is dramatically outpaced by so many other assault rifles that I think B tier is a solid landing point for this guy. Breath of the Dying. Now, I've seen a lot of people say this should be S tier. Now, while I agree this gun is much better than people realize, I would put it at A tier, but above Atlas Replay. It's teetering on the edge of S tier. And this is true on all Vault Hunters. This thing is great on everybody. Vault Card Sniper, the Bird of Prey. This one, it's better than people think, but it's not great. I think this is our first C tier. I like this gun. I very rarely use it. Even when we did our sniper playthroughs, it doesn't have the oomph as all the other snipers, in my opinion. The Bitch. Now, the Bitch in Borderlands 2 was my first legendary ever in any Borderlands games, because I started on Borderlands 2, not on Borderlands 1. So I'm behind the curve. But I remember using this on Borderlands 2 and thinking, oh my God, this thing's crazy. In Borderlands 3, it's average. It's very, very average. I'm giving this thing slightly above the Bird of Prey. I think it's C tier. Up next is the Blade Fury. Now, if you've ever used the Blade Fury and you don't put it here, you are insane. Blind Sage, I got nothing good to say about it. Now, the Bloodstarved Beast, on the other hand, I love this gun. I personally would put it in S tier, but I think you guys will probably have something to say about this one. Let's put this one to the polls. 27 votes to 8 to 7 says A tier. So A tier it is. That's going high A tier in my book. I'm gonna put it right there. The Bloom. I do not like this gun at all. For me, this gun would go in the junk. It's junk. I do think that it's better than most of the other junk we've had so far, but only marginally. Boogeyman. Boogeyman's an easy S tier. Do I put it above or below the Backburner? I'm gonna put it above just because I'm not a big launcher guy, but it regenerates ammo, or it doesn't regenerate ammo. It has a 60% chance to not use ammo, does insane sniper rifle damage, shoots out the Boogeyman skulls that deals weapon splash damage. It comes in elements. It is an S tier. This one's not up for debate. Up next, the Boomer. So I'm putting the Boomer as a low C. Brainstormer. I think it's better than the Bitch, but it's not, I don't think it's worthy of a B tier myself. I think it's a high C. I think by the end of things, it's going to be mid C, honestly. All right, up next is the Breeder, and that's an easy junk. The Bright Side. The Bright Side is pretty mid. I think that it's better than the Boomer, but not worthy of like B tier. All right, up next is the Carrier. Now, the Carrier, before the extra projectile nerf, I would have put it as like a B. But nowadays, it's not good. I'm gonna put it down here with these guys. Chandelier, that's how bad this thing is. I had to look it up. It's junk. Up next is the Cheap Tips. Okay, here's one that's probably gonna surprise you guys. I think the Cheap Tips, I'm gonna put it ahead of the Bitch, below the Brainstormer. What the Cheap Tips does is when you shoot enemies, it'll spawn chips on the ground. You pick those up, you get a damage bonus. I kind of want to go niche, honestly. This is easy niche. All right, good call, chat. I can live with that. I'm actually going to put it ahead of the ASMD in that category, too. But yeah, Clairvoyance. Oh, baby. I love the Clairvoyance. For me, the Clairvoyance is almost an S tier. I'm going to put it here in the A tier. Yeah, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it behind the Bloodstarved Beast, ahead of the Breath of the Dying. What do you guys think? Cloud killed the skill in Borderlands 2? Crazy good. Cloud killed the SMG in Borderlands 3? Crazy bad. Up next, we got the Cocky Bastard. Man, this sniper rifle is not great. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's very average for damage. It does give you a shock damage on critical hit and 1 ricochet, which is just the standard Jacob's Fair. For me, this is D tier, I think. I'm going to put it high D tier. All right, up next is the Complex Root. Anybody that has ever used the Complex Root knows that this is one of the strongest sniper rifles in Borderlands history. But I don't like it better than the Boogeyman. And you guys can hate me on this. It is extremely strong. Root is S tier, but it needs an asterisk for causing seizures. Up next, we got the Conference Call. Oh man, the Conference Call. You can technically kill stuff with this thing. I kind of want to just put it in junk, but I also think that it's stronger than the Amazing Grace. I think it's better than the Bangarang. I think it's better than the Alchemist in terms of, I'm going to put it above the Barrage. That's how I feel. Guys, we only have to get through all the rest of these.
Jesus Christ.
Contain Blast. Now, despite me not remembering the name of it, this thing is a good gun. I don't think that it's B tier. I think it's high C tier, and I think it is better than the Brainstormer. Next, we got the Convergence. Man, the Convergence is essentially kind of like the old school Conference Call. You can do some pretty strong damage with this thing. You hit crits, it does like all the beams coming back in at the spot that you shot. It can be very strong. I think this is a high B tier. Up next, we got the Crater EMP5. Now, the Crater EMP5 has to go under niche. This thing is used specifically for running. Nobody uses this thing for damage because the damage is pretty mid at best. Everybody just equips this thing so they can run fast. So this one has to go in niche. Up next is the Echo. Now, just like the Breeder before it, this gun is not that good. We're talking about in-game. And oh my god, look, they look so similar. They belong together. That's the Craps, not the Echo? That's the Craps? Either way, my bad, guys. I thought this was the Echo. It's apparently the Craps. I still feel like this thing's crap. Up next is the Creamer. Okay, now, the Creamer might be the next niche item. Only in the hands of Zane have I ever seen this thing do any amount of damage. All right, anyhow, what's next? I've never been a fan of the Corruption. I don't think that it's junk. I think it's better than the Barrage because at least it has a special effect. So I'm going D tier. Oh no, it came into a three-way tie. All right, since it's a three-way tie, I'm going to put it as a high C, but I'm going to put it behind the Contained Blast. Creeping Death. This thing is dog shit. It might even somehow be worse than the... No, it's definitely not worse than the Binary Operator at in-game. It's the creeping dog shit. All right, Critical Thug. It could be a good gun, but... So, Torg with a Jacob's Gimmick. Yeah, but the Jacob's Gimmick's not that good on this thing. To me, it's a C, but... All right, D tier it is for the Critical Thug. All right, it's getting moved down. All right, up next, we got the Crossroads. Oh, man. You guys remember back in the day? Yeah, me either. All right. Yeah. Speaking of back in the day, the Cutsman. I don't think you can really even use the Cutsman to do damage anymore, can you? Yeah, at launch, the Cutsman was right here. Right here is where the Cutsman was at launch, and right here is where it's at now. The Damned. Okay, once again, this is another assault rifle that doesn't really have an actual purpose. It does have a front-facing Hyperion shield. I guess that's the special ability. I think this thing's junk myself. I think it's junk that's maybe marginally better than the Bloom, but I don't see anybody using the Damned ever. And again, this is based on its ability to do anything at in-game. All right, up next, we got the Dark Army. My god, this guy, I want to put it right here. Does anybody object to the Dark Army being in S tier? I think it's an easy S myself. Now, going on the opposite spectrum, we have the Destructo Spinner. I want to put this in junk, but I do think that it's better than the Amazing Grace. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it. I'm putting Amazing Grace in junk. I'm putting the Destructo Spinner down there with it. You guys can be mad at me if you want. All right, up next we got the Devastator. I can't in good conscience rank this thing higher than junk, honestly. It's not the worst thing in the world, it's just not very good. Up next is the Devil's Foursome. Okay, now, the Devil's Foursome, I kind of want to put that in niche, but I kind of want to put it in C. Like, you could use the Devil's Foursome on everybody, but really, you're only going to use it on Moze and Amara, right? At in-game, because of that splash damage, you basically shoot at enemies' feet. Yeah, I think it's probably better than the bitch. It's pretty good on Moze. It's pretty good on Moze. It's pretty good on Amara. Up next is... Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. What is this thing called? This is the DNA. So this is, Devoted? Yeah, it's the Devoted. The Devoted's actually not bad. I think the Devoted's better than the Cocky Bastard, better than the Carrier, better than the Conference Call, maybe even better than the Critical Thug, maybe better than the Boomer? All right, DNA got buffed dramatically a while back. I think the DNA, wow, it tied A and B. Okay, so I'm gonna go, I'll put it high B, teetering on the edge of A. Both of these guys I feel like could go either way. Up next is the Dowsing Rod. Now, I kind of want to say Dowsing Rod is sort of niche, but I don't even really use it that much on Moze. I think it's a solid weapon, but it's not a godly weapon. For me, it's a C tier. And then after that, we got the Echo, which that's an easy one. Up next, the Ember's Purge. Oh shit. Okay, in my opinion, would be S tier, but try to use it against anything that flies, or try to use it on anything that resists fire. And that's the only thing that keeps it down here in the A tier, in my opinion. It's amazing on grounded targets. Yeah, again, grounded targets, as long as they don't resist fire. All right, I'm keeping it an A. I feel very strongly about this. All right, up next, we got an easy junk item. This guy and its brother. This one is Embrace the Pain. The next one will be Pain is Power. They're both so bad. They will literally just kill you to use them. I can't say anything good about that. Iridium Fabricator does more damage than the binary operator. The Face Puncher. Now, the Face Puncher, are we going to call this one niche? Because you can use it on Flak, you can use it on Amara. I don't think you're going to ever really use it on Zane or Mose, though. I think niche is a good solid place to put the Face Puncher. Phasor. Again, this one might be considered niche as well, because you're only going to use this thing in alt fire mode. Only on Mose can you really keep the ammo going. I guess on Zane you can keep the ammo going with clone active ammo regen. With Amara and Flak you could do like Terror, but nobody's ever going to do that. I think Phazor's niche as well, and it's a really good niche item. Fearmonger, man, I don't know how to rank the Fearmonger, honestly. Like, splash damage is good. Like, it's just not that great of a shotgun. Fearmonger is an A? Really? Okay. I don't have strong opinions on the Fearmonger. For me, I would put it as like a low C, but I will let you guys vote. Nope, it's a B, just barely B. All right, so Fearmonger, B, but I'm going to put it at the bottom of the Bs. Slightly ahead of the C's. All right, up next we got was it called the Firefly? Yeah, the Firefly, right? I know where I'd put this thing. Firestorm. Okay, now the Firestorm, much like the Ember's Purge, locked to fire, does crazy splash damage. However, if you use this thing indoors, you're not going to get like any bonus effects from it. It's just going to be the pure gun damage. I think this one is high D, maybe low C. It's better than people realize, but it's not that good. I'm gonna go low C, high D. All right, Flacker underrated. I'm gonna go high C on the Flacker. I think the Flacker is crazy good. Up next, the Flipper. Flipper is an easy A tier. We'll put it ahead of this. I almost feel like it should be S tier, but only really in the hands of like Mose and Flak and Amara. I wouldn't really use this on Zane that much. I kind of want to put it ahead of the Dark Army, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave it where it's at. Up next, we got the Free Radical. Anybody that's used this thing knows that it's ridiculous. It wrecks face. What can you say about this gun? I prefer the Flipper over the Free Radical. I understand the power of the Free Radical, but I prefer the Flipper. But this isn't about preference, is it? The Freeman. So Freeman's good on normal mode. You're not going to use it in in-game. Frequency, all that it does when you stack it, increases the amount of shots you get in a burst. So you get a kill with this thing and you get a stack. What does that stack give you? More shots in your burst. So then if you manage to luckily kill another enemy, you get another shot in your burst. This thing goes here with these other junk-ass Malawan shotguns. All right, up next is the Frozen Devil. Frozen Devil might be considered niche. I tried doing this basically on one of the playthroughs where I tried to take advantage of the 720% critical hit damage with the Ice Spike. It just wasn't very good. And here's the main problem right here. Consumes 4 ammo per shot. Think this is very much junk. Gargoyle. Now, I like the Gargoyle a lot, and the special effect of this thing can be abused. However, I still think that it's not really better than C. I don't think that it's better than C. I'm putting it as a high C. I think it's better than the Corruption. I think it's better than the Brainstormer, the Bitch. C, although it looks very cool, definitely low B. All right, so I'm keeping Gargoyle in C. Everybody cool with that? This is the Hand of Glory. Oh, it's the Gatling gun? Oh, yeah, right here's the Hand of Glory. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and save you guys some time. We'll go and throw the Hand of Glory in there. The Gatling gun is, what do you guys think? Low D or junk? You guys think junk for the Gatling gun? Okay. We'll put it as high junk. It's almost usable. All right, Globetrotter. I'm not a launcher guy. So for me, it's a C. But a lot of you guys are saying A's and S's for the Globetrotter. I realize how strong it is. So I'm gonna let you guys completely make this call. Looks like it's a B. All right, B tier it is. I'm gonna put it above the Baby Maker. The Gold Rush, I kind of forgot about the Gold Rush. Killed enemies drop extra cash. Picking up cash stacks fire rate, reload speed, and mag size. Nothing about damage. The gun's not good. You're gonna have trouble getting kills. To me, this is junk. Like, you can't pick up the cash with this gun and then switch to another gun and get the buff. It's just not gonna work. So is the Good Juju. Oh man, I forgot about the Good Juju. A Mayhem 4 exclusive that just doesn't feel great. The effect you get out of this is diminished by the fact that it doesn't even give you the full critical hit damage. And your secondary firing mode has decreased damage. Man, this is a gun that just never got any amount of love, and I can't see anybody ever using this. I gotta give it junk. Guardian Angel has to go niche. Guardian Angel is not only niche, it is the nichest of the niche. Like, Amara can use it to instantly kill raid bosses. Flak can use it with rack attack. Okay, we're gonna pull this one out too. All right, so chat has spoken. They said S tier. Next, we got the Gunnerang. Again, just like the Bangarang, I feel like the Gunnerang isn't very useful in this game. They're both very, like, not great. Not the worst thing in the world, just not great. All right, up next, this is a Handsome Jackhammer. Yeah, this is a Handsome Jackhammer. This thing's not good at all. I'm putting this thing ahead of the Gold Rush, but it's junk. Headsplosion. I love the Headsplosion, but I realize that it is not the strongest sniper out there. I think that it's better. I would much rather use it over a Contained Blast or a Flacker. I'd honestly probably rather use it over a Fearmonger, but I think this is a worthy C tier sniper rifle. There you go. All right, I'm good with that. All right, up next, we got the Heartbreaker. Okay, now the Heartbreaker. I don't think enough people understand how good the Heartbreaker is. I think the Heartbreaker is an easy B, and the reason I would put this in B is not only does it do very good shotgun damage, it also heals you extremely well. This thing on my Shotgun Allegiance Flak kept me alive for the Hemovorous Vermivorous fight. Without this thing, I would have died. Did K6 get to Royston's Thorn yet? I know it sucks, but I love that gun. It actually doesn't suck. However, a gun that does suck is the Hellfire. Oh my god, how they butchered my boy. This thing is really bad. It is not worse than a lot of these things, even though it is bad. All right, up next is the Hellshock. I actually like the Hellshock a lot. I think this is still a worthy gun to use, even at in-game. I think it's stronger than a lot of these other guys here in the C tier. I think that's an easy C. Wow, chat has very strong feelings about this, about being a B tier weapon. So I'm going to put it up here. And again, shout out to Loot Lemon. If you guys don't know about Loot Lemon, go support this website. You can actually go to their support page and you can donate. These guys do this completely for free. You can donate to them. Please do. I've done so a couple times in the past myself. Please support them. All right, so the Hellshock, I'll put them side by side. We'll put them ahead of the Fearmonger, and it'll be Beacon and Hellshock, and you guys can argue about whether one belongs ahead of the other or not. But I think that's pretty fair. This guy, what's this guy called? Hellbringer, Heck Waiter. I don't know. This is definitely, that's so bad. All right, on to the next thing. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. I'm being told they buffed this thing? I can't, they couldn't have buffed it very much though, right? They probably didn't give it a whole big buff. What? Casually put this up here. Yeah, I think that's an easy A. Some people are gonna say it belongs in S tier. It does not. It does not belong in S tier, guys. It's great for mobbing. You're almost never going to use this for bosses. It's an A tier. Come on now, Hive. Oh my God, the Hive. The Hive is an easy A. The Hive is ridiculous. Especially, you can pair this with this thing. Pair this with the Guardian Angel. Shoot it into a crowd of enemies. Swap to the Guardian Angel and just like go hide in a corner. Everything's dead. Okay? You don't even need to do that though. You can just shoot this into a crowd of enemies and generally everything's dead. But if you want to kill them even faster, you can Guardian Angel that shit. All right, up next, let's see. That was the Hive. That means this one's the Hornet. The Hornet. It's a decent gun, but like, I don't know, man. I can't see anybody using the Hornet as like a consistent gun at in-game, honestly. C or even a strong D. I'm leaning towards strong D.
That's what she said.
Hotfoot Teddy. We can all agree that Hotfoot Teddy's just not very good, right? Hotfoot Teddy belongs in junk. This one's actually really good. The Hydrofrost is a good gun. It's better than the bitch, better than the Brainstormer, better than the Corruption. I would say C tier for the Hydrofrost. Hyperfocus. Oh shit. Hyperfocus goes down here. Iceburger. I know some people have opinions about the Iceburger. I don't like it. I would put the Iceburger in D tier. It's more like Asperger. You know what? You guys talked me into it. I'm moving the Iceburger down to junk because I don't like shooting burgers. Speaking of junk, the Infinity Pistol. All right, on to the next item. The Insider. Oh, okay, the Insider. The Insider is actually really decent. I would put this thing as a high C. Ion Cannon. This thing got nerfed, but it's not that good anymore. Still very strong, consumes too much ammo. So right now it's the lowest ranked launcher I've got on the list out of three launchers that are higher. The Ion Laser. Ion Laser, should we call this niche? Like, if you abuse the special ability of it, it's not bad. I kind of feel like it goes here with the Gargoyle in terms of like how it's used. So basically you're going to abuse basically the same kind of mechanic that you do with a Gargoyle to get the Ion Laser to do damage. You get it to the point where it needs to reload and you just keep canceling the reload. Yeah, I'm putting it in niche. Up next is Ionic Disruptor. Okay, Ionic Disruptor is interesting because it's an always bladed Jacob sniper that if you stab an enemy, when you melee them, they get a shock debuff and you deal 100% damage against the shocked enemy. Doesn't this thing also bypass? Yeah, it ignores shields, armor, and a boss's immunity phases. I want to put this kind of in B tier, but I kind of don't too. You know what I mean? Like, or do we call it niche? Man, we could even call this niche. Yeah, I think niche is a fair spot. It's a strong sniper, but the way that you're supposed to use it is very limiting. All right, up next we got the Jericho. I'm not a fan of the Jericho, and I can't imagine too many people using the Jericho at endgame. I would go straight junk. It's good for killing your friends. Jericho S tier for being able to kill your friends. I mean, okay. I'm going to say that we put the Jericho in niche, because it's great for killing your friends, otherwise you're never going to use it. That seems fair. Niche. Up next, Juliet's Dazzle. All right, moving on. So the Chaos and the Chaosin. The Chaos I like a lot, but I feel like it's just a very average assault rifle. I'm gonna go C tier. The Chaosin, on the other hand, is junk. No, I'm kidding. The Chaosin is very much a high. I want to put this in. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I think the Chaosin's an A tier easily. And up next we got, what's this? The Kick Charger. Guys, how do you guys rank the Kick Charger? I would say the Kick Charger's an A. I don't think that it's S tier myself. Some people are saying S tier. You gotta slide and shoot this thing. Looks like most people seem to agree with me that it's an A tier. It's a high A tier. It's a high A tier. Like, look, it's up here with some beauties, right? I do put it ahead of the Ember's Purge, which I love, and I put it ahead of the Chaosin, which I love. Actually, I'm gonna put the Chaosin ahead of the Ember's Purge because it's more useful all around than the Ember's Purge, probably. Next, we got Kill the Wisp. Kill the Wisp is not good. Kill the Wisp is not good. Not good at all. All right, then you got the King's Call. King's Call is a good gun. I'm gonna put it in C. I think it's right around the middle of the pack for C. Then we got the Krakatoa. Oh man, the Krakatoa is a highly underrated gun. A lot of people don't realize that the Krakatoa is good. I think that it's better than most of these guys. I'm gonna put it ahead of the King's Call. I'm gonna put it behind the Insider, ahead of the King's Call. I like the Krakatoa a lot. I think it's a good C tier. Gibbs Worth. Oh shit. You have to do the takedown to get this thing. I'm gonna put it ahead of the Fearmonger. So I'm gonna give this thing a B tier. This is the Laser Sploder. I know my buddy Lazy Data loves the Laser Sploder. I think the Laser Sploder is highly underrated. However, I don't think it's B tier, but I do think that it's better than Contained Blast. What? You guys are saying D tier? What? I think people haven't used the Laser Sploder. All right, I'm sticking with high C on that one. I don't have anything good to say about the Lead Sprinkler. Light Show. This is easily junk, right? Light Show for me is up here in the A tier. I'm going to put it ahead of the Clairvoyance. I'm going to put it ahead of the Ember's Purge. I think Light Show is strong on all Vault Hunters. Great on Moze, great on Zane, great on Flak, great on Amara. Amara with Indiscriminate could probably do some wacky shit, but I don't think I've ever tried it. Anyhow, it's great. I love it. Yeah, you know what? I'm putting it right there. It's top of the A list for me. All right, up next is the Link. The Link is better than people know, but it's not great. You know what? It's right about here. It's right about here for me. It's a D, but it's a good. It's decent. It's just you're not gonna do much with it. Linoge. All right, moving on. Little Yeety. All right, Little Yeety. Little Yeety is not great. It can be used to knock back enemies. It is a masher, right? Would I use it above? I would use it above the Alchemist. K6 voting with his emotions, putting Linoge in junk. It's not that bad of a weapon. What are you talking about? This thing? The thing that's in dead last place? All right, the long musket. It's junk. Yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, I'm being too generous with some of these items, guys. I'm moving the Gunnerang and the Bangarang, the Little Yeety and the Alchemist, all from D tier down to junk. Moving on, the Lovable Rogue. I really wish the Lovable Rogue was good. It's just really not. So I gotta put it here in the junk. The Love Drill also, again, not very good. Lucian's Call, on the other hand, holy shit. I'm gonna put the Lucian's Call in A tier. I'm gonna put it ahead of the Atlas Replay. Up next, the Lucky 7. Lucky 7 is insane. Stronger than all these if you roll and if you can keep that going. I'm going to give it A tier, but you have to work at it. You know what? I'm going to put it ahead of the Hive. Actually, I'm going to put the Lucian's Call out of the Hive too. All right, up next, the Lyuda. Lyuda is a very good sniper rifle still yet. It has an issue with ammo. Nowhere near this guy right here, the Boogeyman. Talk about power creep. But yeah, Lyuda is still very good. It's a C. Maggie. Oh my God, my baby Maggie. So Maggie for me is a B tier gun. I would rather use the Maggie than the Baby Maker for sure. This one is one of those ones where I know that it's not as strong as I'm saying it is. I would rather use this than most everything else in the B category. Up next, the Magnificent. Okay. Instantly, when you guys see Magnificent, there's going to be a swath of you guys that say this thing is junk. And while I would agree with you, for my base game Zane, this thing is a baby light show. I think this gun is better than a lot of people understand. I'm going to put it in C, and that's going to be a controversial one right here. It does take a year and a half to reload. So we got Malik's Bane. That would mean that this one is the Mechanic. Mechanic is very niche. This is not only niche, it's the bottom of the niche. That's the Major Kong? You're right, that is the Major Kong. Sorry. This is the Mechanic. Niche. Sorry, I grabbed that's the Major Kong. Major Kong, on the other hand, I know that the Major Kong's not junk, and I know it's not niche. Oh wow, it's a tie between B and C with 4 votes for S. I mean, I put it at high C. I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna put it behind the Insider. All right, up next, the Malik's Bane. All right, so this guy just barely ahead of the Creeping Death. The problem with the Malik's Bane is it's way too much ammo per shot. It's garbage. Masterwork Crossbow, unfortunately, it's a very cool concept, but also not very good. Garbage. Mind Killer. Garbage. Miscreant is good. The problem is the mag size is too small generally, right? So again, I'm going to put it here with the Gargoyle and the Hydra Frost. All right, up next, the Mongol. I don't think that many people are going to use the Mongol for much of anything. I'm putting it in junk. All right, Monocle. Monocle is better than a lot of people think. You do need to be aimed down sights. I'm going to put it ahead of the Firestorm. The Moonfire. Moonfire is good. I almost feel like it should be niche, but I would use it probably more than this pistol, definitely. I think C's fair. The Mother 2. Oh, man. Okay, it's not good, but do you guys remember when we made it crazy and it did work? I still feel like this belongs in junk, but it's like surprisingly better junk than you would think. Multi-tap. Multi-tap is a exceptionally good gun. A lot of people have never even used this gun, have no idea how good this gun is, but it is an A tier gun. This is a very strong pistol. Not enough people have given this thing the love that it deserves. I think this one is an easy A. The mutant. Mutant is junk. The narp. This is the narp. Narp. Needle gun. Oh shit. I did not recognize the needle gun. The needle gun is one that I think not enough people know about. S tier? I wouldn't argue with S tier, honestly. I'm gonna say high A, low S. But if people want to say S tier, I won't argue with that. Wow, looks like the S's are gonna take it. You know what? I'd rather use it than the Dark Army now that I think about it. Holy shit. Man, I kind of want to put the light show up there too. I'm doing it. I'm putting the light show up here. Since you guys said the Hellwalker's S, I'll move it up there, but only if you give me the Anarchy. Okay? You gotta give me the Anarchy, and then you can have the Hellwalker up there. What's this one? This one is the Nemesis. The Nemesis is very, very mid. Where did we put the Hornet? Because it's around the Hornet level. I'm going to put the Nemesis right there with it. I feel like those guys are both pretty, yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Night Flyer? Yeah, Night Flyer. Okay, here's the thing. The Night Flyer isn't horrible for damage. The gimmick of this gun is that it will only take enemies down to 1 HP. It goes down here. It's not as good as these guys, and these guys are already D tier, so. All right, Nighthawk, and man, the Nighthawk in normal mode is so good. At in-game, you're not going to use it at all. Sorry. Nimble Jack goes somewhere down here. No Pew Pew, on the other hand. No Pew Pew, on the other hand, can do some damages. I think No Pew Pew belongs in A tier, behind the Maggie, but ahead of the multi-tap. All right, so the nothingness we're putting in junk. I just don't like it. This is what the Nukem. Nukem's not very good in this game. Nukem is, it's pretty bad. I'm putting it in junk. I'm making an executive decision on that. Cultist. Cultist is terrible. All right, Ogre. Unfortunately, Ogre just doesn't get anything that really benefits it in this game. Unfortunately, like, honestly, it's probably as good as like the Carrier and, you know, these other guys though. I feel like I've probably been a little unfair to some of these things down here. I think the Long Musket could be D tier. I think the Lovable Rogue could be D tier because it's better than the Carrier, honestly. Like, I think I've put some things down here that maybe was a little harsh. There might be some other stuff down here that we can move up. You know what? I'll move this one up for Dawn. All right, chat. Okay. All right. You know what? The Linoge. I get it. The Linoge isn't garbage, but it is D tier. Okay. It is D tier. It's a solid C. I mean, if you've been smoking crack today, sure. The Old Ridian. The Old Ridian effect is what? Random elements. It's one of those guns that I don't think I'll ever use again. It's just not great. One Pump Chump. I think the One Pump Chump deserves to not be put down in the junk. All right, next up is the OPQ system. All right, OPQ. Where are we landing the OPQ, guys? I think the OPQ belongs in the A's. I think these 3 assault rifles are all pretty close. All right, up next we got the Pain is Power. It goes right here beside Embrace the Pain. That was easy. The Pat Mark III. You guys think it's a low C? Yeah, I'll put it mid D. I'm gonna go mid D. It's not great. It's not horrible. Pestilence. Yeah, Pestilence. I think we gotta put the Pestilence in junk. I don't think it's got a whole lot of uses. The Feebert is below average for a Hyperion shotgun. I'm gonna throw it in here. We got some beasts coming up, guys. We got some beasts coming up like the Polyamorous. Drop this in here real quick. We got the Plague Bearer, guys. The Plague flippin' Bearer. Plague Bearer. Where's this gonna land? It's an easy S tier, boys. The Plasma Coil. This is obviously one of the worst guns. We're gonna put it... Oh, wait, what? Being told it's actually very good. We just gotta casually take it up here to the very tippity top of the list because it is the strongest gun in the game just for pure nonsense. It is a handheld SMG Norfleet. It's S tier. All right, so we got the Plumage. Now the Plumage is another underrated gun. Plumage, Plumage, Plumage. I'm going to put you here. Yeah, it's like one of the highest overall rocket damages in the game. Doesn't make it stronger than these guys up here though, obviously. We got the Polybius. That was easy. This one, okay, the Predatory Landing, I think we should put in niche. The reason that you would want the predatory lending is just to see how much money you have. If you're beyond the money cap, you would use the predatory lending just to see how much money you have. Up next, we got the prompt critical. Prompt critical is very good. Low A, high B. I'm good with that. I know people are gonna say, wait, you got the prompt critical, here and the Maggie here. It's a preference thing at that point, I think. Both, like, everything from like here to here could all be interchangeable, honestly. You could go high B for all these guys, low A for all these guys. I'm cool with that. The proprietary license. Not enough people know about the proprietary license. The proprietary license is one of those guns that does everything. I'm going to put it ahead of the Kib's Worth, and that might be controversial, but I think it belongs in B. Psycho Stabber. So Psycho Stabber, do we consider this niche because it's literally only used for melee? I think we go niche for that. Quadomizer goes way down here. Queen's Call, that's got to go right beside the King's Call. Rebel Yell, also extremely bad. The Rebound, on the other hand, the Rebound goes up, 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 up. The Rebound is easily a B. It might be considered an A. You know what? Since Zifnab said A, I'm gonna go with A. The No Pew Pew and the Rebound. I think both of those are exceptional assault rifles. Recursion. I kind of want to put it under niche. I think we go niche for the recursion because on Eraser Zane, like Moxie said, this thing's crazy. It can still be good on Amara. You can still stack elements on it a bit. It's just not as broken as it used to be. I don't like the rocket pod at all. Again, I'm not a rocket launcher lover, so I'm gonna let you guys vote on this one. All right, so we got a D tier for rocket pod. Up next, we got the redistributor. Before the projectile nerf, this would have gone up pretty high, huh? Is it still a niche weapon for the redistributor? The red line. Red line is better than people think. I gotta put it higher than the Magnificent, I think. Redline goes C tier. Reflux. Garbage. No, I'm kidding. Reflux is very, very good. I'm gonna put it ahead of you. I'm gonna put it ahead of you guys. I'm gonna put it in right in the middle of B tier. Definitely, it's better. Let's be honest. It is better than the Maggie. I feel like I need to quit lying to myself and I need to move the Maggie down here. But chat, you guys voted on it. You guys voted on the Maggie. So I feel like I gotta keep it up here too. The res is niche. You use it to revive your teammates or your pets. Ripper, not good. And then you got the Robin's Call. Robin's Call, unfortunately, does not live up to the call name. Is it D tier or is it junk? Yeah, I'm gonna keep Robin's Call and junk. There's not really much rhyme or reason to the junk pile, by the way, other than the bottom stuff. The bottom stuff is all pretty much the worst of the worst. Everything above, like the NARP, is all pretty much interchangeable. Roizen's Thorns. This guy is better than you guys realize. A lot of people know this. I think this is easily a C tier weapon. Yeah. I'm good with that. Donk the Bobo fan says A tier. All right, I'm gonna let you guys vote. I'll give it a high-ish B, but it's not better than, like, look, we got the prompt critical in B. You know what? I'm gonna put it between the Hell Shock and the Beacon. Yeah, I'm putting it to B. I'm vetoing your veto, chat. All right, Rowan's Call. Rowan's Call, guys. Where do we put the Rowan's Call? Man, that's got to be D tier. Oh no, wait, it's going up there. It's going up there. I'm gonna put it above the light show. I got you right here, Rowan's Call. Ruby's Wrath. Yeah, Ruby's Wrath. I don't like the Ruby's Wrath. To do the Rhina. Oh, the Rhina. The Rhina is one of those things that it's strong, but it uses a massive amount of ammo. So realistically, most people aren't going to use it, but it is strong. It's stronger than a lot of these guys. Yeah, it's stupid strong, but you are going to need to reload it after you shoot it. I gotta put it up. I kind of would put it at the low B territory, but that ammo cost is really hurting it. I feel like I gotta put it behind the Major Kong. I'm gonna go high C. So the Serve Boss Execute, its reload explosion deals 200% times card damage times leftover bullets. When thrown with an emptied magazine, it applies a stackable debuff to enemies, and that debuff is plus 50% damage toward all debuffed enemies. It's a debuffing gun, it's niche, it's not great by itself, so it's just a niche item. Sandhawk, oh shit, okay, so this one's gonna be divisive, I think. It's gotta be at least an A tier. I would put it here. Zane, I put it here. I would put it here. Behind the Clairvoyance, ahead of the Lucky 7, ahead of the Lucian's Call, just marginally. Was it Satisfaction? Using this, you won't get no satisfaction. It's not good. The Saw Bar. Saw Bar we gotta put up here somewhere. Let's see. Saw Bar. I think Saw Bar is a high C, low B. If you hit your explosions on this thing, it's very strong on every Vault Hunter. All right, the Scorpio. Scorpio's better than people think. It's a really good pistol, but it's not really good with its special effect. I would use it over the long musket. The actual pistol damage is good. Actually, the pistol damage is probably better than these guys, now that I think about it. So yeah, I think that's a fair spot. The Scourge. Scourge is better than average. No, it's not. It's average. All right. Good for me on that one. Oh, the Scoville. Okay. I'm not a fan of the Scoville. I would put the Scoville around here-ish. It's a serial killer. No wonder I didn't recognize it. The serial killer is just plain bad. I've tried to use it. I cannot. It sucks. The Sellout. Sellout is bad. It is funny that it talks shit to you. Septimator Prime, also, unfortunately, not good. I've tried really hard to make this thing do damage, and I just can't. Seventh Sense. A lot of people are going to have strong feelings about the Seventh Sense. I feel like it is a better pistol than these guys. But you guys can tell me if you think that it belongs higher. SF Force. SF Force, as long as you don't switch to alt fire mode, it's actually pretty strong. I would say it's better than the Boomer. SF Force got a pretty big buff a while back, and a lot of people don't know about. But as you can see from the changelog, boom, 400% weapon damage, but only for the primary element. So very strong. Just don't switch elements. I'm gonna put it ahead of the Kings and Queens Call. So next we got the Lob. All right, so you guys have heard that the Lob got nerfed into oblivion, right? It's just not true. The Lob is still a very, very good gun. I would put it right up here with the Insider and the Red Line in terms of shotguns. Maybe even a B tier, actually. I'd rather use the Lob than the Fearmonger. Shredifire. Shredifire, if you get the right Shredifire, which we're assuming that you get good versions of all these things, the Shredifire is very good. I would put it high C. All right, next we got the sickle. Okay, so obviously you want the boom sickle. The boom sickle would be killer, and the boom sickle goes in B tier as a better shotgun than the Fearmonger in my opinion, but I'd still rather use a Lob. It does use assault rifle ammo to do its damage, so you know what? I'm actually going to put it here. So we got the Skexil. Skexil only good in normal mode, unfortunately. I really, really like the Skexil. I think it's a very fun gun, but it just never got like mayhem scaling, so it's got to go in junk, unfortunately, and that sucks because I really like that gun. So if you don't know, the Skullmasher is the best version of the Skullmasher that we've ever had. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the Skullmasher is an S tier gun. It's great on every Vault Hunter. I love the Skullmasher. We can go ahead and say that the Sledges belongs down here, unfortunately. I wish that it was good, but it's not. The Boring Gun, that goes down here. That's easy. The TNTina, dog shit, unfortunately. Vosk's Death Grip, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Woodblocker, terrible. Westergun. Westergun's better than you expect, probably. I'm gonna put it lowest D at this point. Garcia. I love this shotgun. I know that it's not the strongest shotgun, but it's gotta go in C tier above you. There we go. Sleeping Giant. Okay, so the Sleeping Giant, do we call the Sleeping Giant niche? Because if you trigger the effect of it, it's crazy good. Or do we say it's just an okay SMG? Or do we say it's junk? 12 people said niche. I agree. I'm good with niche. Slow Hand. All right, Slow Hand, better than people realize. Good splash damage, great healing. I think it belongs in C tier. Strong, splash damage, heals you. Very good gun, and it works on everybody. Up next is, what the hell is this guy? Smart Gun? Smart Gun? Yeah, the Smart Gun. Garbage. Smog. I think it's a B category. It's a strong gun. I would probably rather use the proprietary license, to be honest with you guys. I generally just like the proprietary license more. I am going to move the Hellshock behind those guys. Oh, the Soulrender. It's not very good because it's freaking great All right, now I'm going to show some serious bias here. I think Soulrender is an easy A tier. I might even put it in S tier, guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But at the very least, it's got to be top of the A tier. I want to put it here, though. I want to put it ahead of the Hellwalker. It's better than the Hellwalker, guys. I'm putting it in S tier. It's an S tier for me. Next, we got the Spade. Boom, that was easy. We got the the Stalker. It's not very good. I'm gonna put it in junk too. Star Helix. Star Helix is good. It's not amazing, but it's good. I would say it's definitely better than. Is it better than the Ogre? All right, high D. I'm going high D. It could be a C. I could see you calling it a C as well. Up next, we got the Staros Burn. God damn, I really wish that this gun was better than it is, but it's just, I think Staros Burn is D tier. Stone Thrower, my God, this thing, I want to like the Stone Thrower, but I just don't. So I'm gonna put it there. The Storm, highly underrated sniper rifle yet again. It's better than the Firestorm because you're gonna get the effects whether you're indoors or outdoors. I don't think it is. I'm gonna put it behind the Bird of Prey. I'm gonna put it slightly behind the Bird of Prey. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. All right, we got the Super Ball. Junk. Then we got the Tankman Shield. My God, another gun that you would think, since it's MAM4, that you should be able to get some crazy use out of it, but it's just really bad. 10 gallon. I want to like the 10 gallon. It's a low D for me for the 10 gallon. The Blanc, I despise the Blanc. Now you could say, well, K6 shouldn't be up here with like the other pistols that are, yeah, these other doll pistols. No. All right, guys, you guys know where the Butcher's going. This guy's an S tier. He could probably go higher, honestly. Yeah, Butcher. The Companion, okay. It messed me up because, you know, it's the Companion. I'm like, what? Companion's not as bad as people think. Not great, but it's not as bad as people think. I think it's a D tier. I think it's better than the 10 gallon. I think it's better than the Staros Burn. So I'm gonna put this guy at the bottom of that list. All right, the Dictator. Oh man, how do we rank the Dictator? I was just watching back that playthrough with me and Jolts on Borderlands 3, and we kept finding Dictators, and I kept giving him Dictators because he was on Moe's, and we knew that he was going to be able to do some fun shit with Moe's with the Dictator. And then the Monarch came out. So is the Dictator bad, or is the Monarch just that good? I'm going to put it at the top of the junk pile. I think that's where it belongs, unfortunately. The Duke. The Duke, the Duke, the Duke, the Duke, the Duke. I think that it's probably got to go in the junk pile. Flood. I know Alec loves the Flood, but I just don't think it's good enough either to go up there. And then you got the Horizon. The Horizon can do okay damage, but I got to put it in junk. The Shocker, junk. The Monarch has to go up, up, up into A. I'm going to put it right there with the Reflux. I prefer it over the Reflux. We got TK's Wave and the Tidal Wave. So Tidal Wave first. The Tidal Wave, unfortunately, never got the buff that the TK's Wave got. And as such, it is straight dog shit. Now, the TK's Wave, on the other hand, let me make sure the TK's Wave got a insane damage buff. I still don't like it that much. I find it hard to use. I find it unfun to use. However, I recognize that it is very, very strong now. And as such, it probably belongs up here in the B tier. Would I put it ahead of the Fearmonger? I would. Would I put it ahead of the Insider, the Lob? I would not. I would much rather use those things. Next, we got the Thunderball Fist. Okay, so Thunderball is another one that you can use, and you can do decent damage with it. It's a splash specific kind of build kind of gun though. Tig's Boom. Tig's Boom is decent. It's better than the Fearmonger, right? I would put it ahead of the Fearmonger, though if you try to use the Tig's Boom indoors, I think you're going to get better use out of the Fearmonger. All right, Tizzy. Tizzy's an easy one. This should be a no-brainer for anybody that's ever used the Tizzy. Tizzy goes in S tier, and I'm putting it ahead of the Hellwalker. Now, let the arguing commence about how I'm wrong about that. The Torrent. Torrent is better than all of these guys, and I'd rather use it over the Hellshock. I want to go right there with the Torrent. I like the Torrent a lot. I think it's a B tier. Trevinator. Trevinator goes up. It goes up, 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 and it goes above this. I'm going to put the Trevinator above that. I'm going to put it above the Lob. Right there. High B. So up next, we got the Trick Shot. Boom. Okay, now we can move on to the other stuff. I'm kidding. Trick Shot. Trick Shot is actually a pretty good gun. It's not a great gun, but it's a pretty good gun. In terms of pistols, I like it better than the Scoville. I like it better than all these guys. I like it better than the 7 Cents. Ahead of Kings and Queens Call. I give it a high C. Troubleshooter. The Troubleshooter actually surprised me the last time I used it. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm going to put the Troubleshooter above the Bird of Prey. I'm going to put it above the Moonfire, actually, for me. Actually, I'm going to put it above the Miscreant. Yeah. It's a bit underrated. Honestly, it's a bit underrated. Tri-Bolt. Okay, this is going to be a tough one. How do we rank the Tri-Bolt? Okay, done. The Tsunami. Unfortunately, the Tsunami does not scale well with Mayhem. It can actually still be good on a base game Moze. If you use this on base game Moze, it can be good. It'd be like a poor man's Flipper. That said, it's not quite good enough, in my opinion, to go up to D tier. The Tunguska. The goddamn Tunguska. You know what this thing's good for? Selling. Alright, up next, the Unforgiven. We're going to go niche for Unforgiven. It is not great on its own, but for crit swapping, it is hard to beat how strong that can be. You shoot something that's slow moving, swap to the Unforgiven, and if it hits crits, guess what? You just did a shit ton more damage. Alright, up next, we got the Unkempt Herald in Borderlands 3. Does not get the love that it deserves. This thing is better than the Borderlands 2 Unkempt Herald. And I'm tired of pretending that it's not, guys. It's absolutely better than the Borderlands 2 Unkempt Herald. The only difference is it doesn't do full auto. It is much stronger of a pistol than most of these other pistols on this list. It's stronger than the Roizen's Thorn, stronger than the Prompt Critical, stronger than the Maggie, stronger than the Multi-Tap, stronger than the Atlas Replay. It's a solid A. And you could even make the case that it belongs up here. I wouldn't argue with you if you want to make that case, but I feel like it's a solid A, and I will stand on that. All right, up next, the Unseen Threat. Now, this guy used to be so damn good. I really, really like the Unseen Threat. I really like it on Amara, but that's about the only character that I will use it on. Therefore, do I call it niche, or do I just say, you know what? Everybody else could use it just as well. But it's probably down to a D tier list at this point. Next, we got the Vanquisher. Unfortunately, the Vanquisher just isn't that good. It's just not. Wagon Wheel, this one on Amara could be okay, but even with Amara and Indiscriminate, I feel like it's still kind of garbage. Warlord just doesn't really have any good features to it at all. I'm going to leave that down in junk. The Web Slinger. Now, I've heard people claim that the Web Slinger allows you to climb walls. It's okay that they're wrong. It is a good assault rifle. It's not a great assault rifle, but it is better than a lot of these guys on this list. So I'm going to put it up here in the high D. No, I'm going to put it in low C. I think it's not bad. Okay, Don says that we should put the Vanquisher in niche because it does give you a speed bonus. It does. That's true. Now I can't find it. Vanquisher. Oh, here it is. Vanquisher. All right, so we'll put the Vanquisher down here for the speed bonus that you can get out of it. Wedding Invitation. Oh man, remember when the Wedding Invitation was so strong early on? Well, it's not super strong anymore, but it is still decent. So I'm going to put it in D. It's kind of a lowish D. It is better than the Infinity Pistol, so I'll put it in low D. It's still strong-ish, just not where it used to be. The Yellow Cake. The Yellow Cake is still insanely good. I know that people think that that thing got nerfed into the ground. It did not. It is still quite strong. Not as ridiculous as it used to be, but I'm going to put it up here ahead of the Rhina, but below the Major Kong. And then finally we got the Zeetsev's Eruption, which is once again a niche item. This thing is used to debuff enemies. So we're gonna throw that guy in here. There we go, guys. That's my tier list. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys agree with? What do you guys strongly disagree with? I know that tier lists and ranking videos always bring out people's strong emotions about these things. I think that my S tier list is 100% accurate. I don't think that there's anything in this S tier ranking that doesn't deserve to be. Maybe the closest to not deserving it is the Tizzy, but even that is a high A. Maybe the Hellwalker. Personally, I didn't vote for the Hellwalker to be in S tier. I think the Hellwalker belongs here, but chat, I gave them their own voice in this as well, and they voted for that in there. I think that a lot of the A tier could be just considered S tier as well. I mean, you got things like the Monarch. On Flak, you're gonna be like, that's S tier easily. On Zane, you're gonna look at the Breath of Dying, you're gonna go, that's S tier. On Flak and Mose and Amara, you're maybe even in Zane, you're gonna look at the Hive and go, you know, that could be up there. On Mose, you're gonna look at the Lucky 7 and be like, that's easy to make that an S tier. So it's a very, you know, the list can fluctuate. If you want to try this list for yourself, I'll have a link to it in the description of the video. Go make your own list, post your video, tag me in your video if you want. Let me know how you would rank them. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see y'all next time. Take care.